Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Today, I want to discuss discrimination and T1D. How does it affect us? Does it affect us? Are we really being discriminated against? Huh? We're going to take a look. Now, first of all, I want you to check any information you get through this video or any other video about this topic or any topic to do with diabetes. Find out all you can before dealing with finding whether you're discriminatory or being discriminatory against. Now, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms protects anybody with a physical or mental disability. Now, also with the Canadian Human Rights Act, it takes care of, I'm just reading this here for you, federal governments, First Nation governments, and private companies that are regulated by the federal government. So this would be banks, railways, airlines, I believe. Now, Canada has signed the International Rights of People with Disabilities. So, we have a long tradition of this. So, it could be in your favor. Now in the States, if you're watching from the States, there's always the Americans with Disabilities Act. For Canadians, it is built right into our Constitution. Now, everyone knows pretty well the grounds, race, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, age, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, family status, and there's also disability. It should be quite obvious, but people seem to think, oh well, there's a reason. Now, I mentioned that already. BC also has laws. Now, saying that if you are an employee, an employer must not discriminate between employees by employing one sex or one disability. It's pretty simple. Now, a lot of this deals with work because there's people out there who need to live and they can't serve like, oh well, you're diabetic, you can't do this job anymore. Now we'll get into school. Now why do they always seem schools want to discriminate? And they may just say it without even thinking. So before you go off on your high horses and whatever, you need to ensure that you discuss things with your healthcare, maybe your family lawyer. I don't know, but just don't go off, oh, that's discriminatory, I'll fight with it. In order to get anything done, you need to work one-on-one with someone. Okay? So, there is a fear of people who don't have diabetes or any specialized group. Oh, well, they get to do that, so I should be able to. They get to take their phone into a test. I should be able to. And, I hope that one person doesn't take the phone and say they're diabetic and they cheat, and it's going to ruin it for everyone. Now, in school, and things have certainly changed from when I went to school, but you need to get a copy of this school board's diabetes plans. How are they going to treat someone with diabetes? Well, they just need to get my little pump thing going here. I had a low before doing this, so let's see where we are now. Yeah, we're at 4 or 5. But we're doing well. Now, why do you want a school board's plan? Because your son or daughter is probably going to be in the same school district for a majority of their time. So you want the school board to say, hey, this is the plans we have in place. Now, when you go in to have your meetings, you want to set an expectation of care. Does your son or daughter need someone to be with them all day? Or are you going to be doing it through the phone? Whatever works for you. They have to make suitable accommodations. To just treat kids like, oh no, you've gone to the washroom once, you can't go to the washroom again. That's a form of being discriminated against. Okay, now, if you come up with a plan, an individualized plan for your son or daughter, and something goes wrong, and they don't follow through, you need to make an appointment to see the principal or whoever and deal with it ASAP. Don't let things fester. Okay? Now, if your child is sick and is away from school because of a cold, take the absence. Don't sit there and go, oh no, he should be counted because he's a diabetic. On the flip side though, if your son or daughter has to stay away from school because of a high blood sugar or is having severe lows, that should be counted towards you as a diabetic. You have to remember, it's not your son or daughter or your own fault for having type 1 diabetes. You didn't sign up for this. You didn't say, oh yes, I want this. Okay. Every person working in that school should know how to spot a low blood sugar. You know, it could be the janitor. If the janitor comes upon your son or daughter, sort of really out of it, that he or she could get help. So it should be outdoor people. And as your son or daughter grows, there'll be less and less intervention. Now, something else that the school should do, and if they're not doing it, it is a real problem, and it's part of discrimination, and that is bullying. If your son or daughter are being bullied because they have diabetes, don't just let it go. Get on the phone, talk to the principal, get it dealt with. Now, your son or daughter needs to be safe. They have a right to be safe while at school. And that goes A, their bodies, and B, their diabetes. if they're in a class and they have a low blood sugar, and the teacher will not allow them to go to the nurse, then we have a problem. They need to have access to food, and if they are low, they need to be able to pull out their glucometer and test. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of class. They should not feel that they're different. But if they are low, they need to learn how to deal with it. They need to have access. Now it's to phone, because a lot of people are going for the wireless systems. So they need PDM or to their phone. Say, hey, there I am. Hey, guys. Okay. Now, a lot of state testing, I know there's being issues bringing in the phone or the PDM because they could use it for cheating. Okay, when I was growing up, there wasn't these things. The biggest things people had were radio phones. I know, because my dad had one. Now, probably the biggest things school boards and schools try to pass off is saying, oh, we don't have funding for that. Well, just mention the ADA in the States. Up in Canada, your son or daughter has a right to deal with it. Okay, work. You can't be turned down a job because you have type 1 diabetes. Now, a lot of people say you shouldn't tell them until after you're employed. Now, I've said this before, I've mentioned in videos before, if you have type 1 diabetes, you need to tell someone who knows that if you're not comfortable with bringing up with your boss, someone who has the knowledge to fight it if we have to. Now, back when I was with a large convenience store chain, I had been working there and working like 5 years. And I was told, because I was not able to keep good control of my blood sugars, and they figured a lot of it was because I was working nights all the time. And they decided, you know what, it's probably better you do days. So I took this note from my doctor and took it to my boss, the store manager at the time, and he said, oh, well, you're no longer full-time then. But at that time, any women that were hired could only work 7 to 3 or 3 to 11, but night shifts, so all guys were put on tonight. And he kept saying, oh, well, you need I can give you a 4-hour shift once a week. So you're going from 40 hours down to 4. And it was all because I handed this note. I went to what we call my field consultant, and I said, I don't think this really sounds good. And we got HR involved, and I ended up I was 3:11 and I actually enjoyed the shift. 11 o'clock I was off, went home, went to bed. But it was also, I had done my time, so that was part of it. But this boss was a total jerk at the time. Now, your employer, just same as your schools, should be making accommodations for you. Now, obviously, it depends on the size of the company. Now, when I was working, and I'll say this because it's a positive move from them, when I was working with Save on Foods as a cashier, we would have people who come and put their bags down behind the service desk, and this wasn't allowed. And I had a pack with like extra insulin, extra pump supplies, whatever, and they allowed me to have it. But on the other side was I allowed them to see and take a look at it just to make sure on there that I wasn't stealing, that they could see what was in the bag at any time. So, you have to play both sides. You can't just say, oh, well, yes, this is in stone. It's again your personal care. Oops, sorry, just what's up here? Now, if you feel that you are being discriminatory because you have type 1 diabetes, whether you're in school, work, you can file a complaint with the Human Rights Commission. Pure and simple. It will allow you to get the actions. Now, in Canada or in BC, you can call them at 604-775-2000. And you can get the help that you need. However, I'm not telling anyone to swamp that Human Rights Tribunal with phone calls. If you need to use the number, use the number. Now it says here, if you go online and you get the paperwork, don't sign in with Safari, use Google Chrome. Now, we talked a lot about work and, ensuring that you have the right to take blood sugars, do what you need to do, and you need to have time. If you require an extra 10 minutes, you shouldn't feel, oh my God, I'll be docked if I take the time. The government of BC, the government of Canada has your backs. They cannot discriminate against you. Anyway, this has been a long one. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye now.